So I've looked around YouTube and I've seen some cool videos of people custom painting their snowboards and skateboards. And I thought, man, that would be a cool thing to try. I have a snowboard and it's too bad I don't have the know-how or the experience or the equipment to be able to do that. But then I thought, wait a second. If memory serves, I painted high-end cars for a living for about 5 years.
Oh yeah.
And that experience, I'm sure, would translate to helping me with this project. If I combine my love for illustration and that bodywork experience, maybe we can do something here. Let's try it. Okay, here it is. This is my snowboard. It still works great, but the only thing is the graphic on it, the print, the design. It's okay, it's pretty cool. I bought it because I liked it enough, but it never quite spoke to me on a deep level. And I thought, why not customize it, make it even more me, make something cool and unique? I don't know. I think I can do it. I want to at least try, and I'm gonna give it a shot. So I guess the first thing I do is take off these bindings and prep the board for painting, and then go nuts on it, I guess. Hopefully this works. I'm gonna take you along for the ride. Here we go, to the workshop. Let's go. Wowza, have not done a project in a while. We're gonna have to clean up this place. Let's put these somewhere safe. Wow, look at this. Can you see that? That's the color it used to be. That's the color it's turned into. My goodness. I think it is time for a paint job. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe this down with some paint thinner. Just a little bit, just to make sure there's no weird, chemicals or wax on top of it. Okay, so I sanded this thing, put some paint thinner just over it. I think we're ready to prime it. I'm just gonna give it a nice white prime coat so that it's easier to cover like the black sections with the new color. Let's just make it like a white blank canvas. I'm going to fill all these little holes just to make sure like the thread of the holes is still intact and don't want gunk getting in there. So I'll do that and then prep a spot to prime it and then do it. Let's go. Okay, there we go, blank canvas. So I took the tape off. I kind of sanded it down a little bit after the primer so it's nice and smooth again. So we basically have a smooth, nice white surface to paint upon. So now the board's all white. It's ready to get drawn on. But what are we gonna draw? Wait a sec. And then... Ooh. So it turns out I really like octopus. I didn't actually realize until I started decorating this room that I'm in, but octopus kept showing up everywhere. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I do like those things. They're so cool, they're so weird, they're so interesting and fun to draw. And I think that subject matter would fit pretty well on the long canvas that the board provides. So I looked around and on Pinterest, I found this sketch that I kind of drew inspiration from. And my plan is to kind of do my own version of this and get it onto the board. So I fired up my iPad and on Procreate, I came up with this design. So I figured with the iPad, some screen sharing, the Procreate app, all these things together, I think I have an idea of how to get the design onto the board. But first, let's go back in time for a second. All right, people, we're at a different time. I have a mustache. I filmed this a little while ago and I'm on my way to get a spray gun, like the ones I used to use for work. I talked to the guy I used to work for, and he let me know where I can get a good one, so I'm on my way there. Let's go! So the tentacle will be the main design, but for the background color, I thought green would be cool. Green is my favorite color. Maybe if we just had a solid green background with that tentacle as the main focus, that would be a cool, strong design. So I went and I found some green spray paint. So let's get this thing started. Okay, so I have Procreate open, and now it's just a matter of getting it on there. It's like a game. Okay. Think right about there. Technology. Okay, now we trace. So now that the green's on, it's time for the hand-painted portion. And for that, I got these golden acrylic paints. Check them out. So if we just had the green in the background and a strong black and white foreground design, I think that could look pretty cool. But there's only one way to find out. Let's dive in and paint it. Okay, so the painting I think is done. I'm gonna leave it where it is. I could keep tweaking it forever, but I think it's good enough. Next thing, very important step, and also one of the scariest steps, is putting on the clear coat. So while I bought the gun, I bought this as well. The Omni LVMC760 whatever clear coat, and the matching hardener. This is for cars. I just didn't want to cheap out and get something that wouldn't last. So this might be kind of overkill, I don't know, but this is really good quality clear coat. And I remember when I worked with cars, this was a step that could make or break the whole job. It's kind of scary. It can get kind of dicey if you don't know what you're doing. So even I, with my experience, I'm kind of nervous because it's been a long time, but I'm gonna try and mix this stuff up. I'm gonna set up a little area outside, and I'm gonna try and put a clear coat on this thing, and we're gonna see how that goes. Mix it, mix it. Okay, so this is the part I was most nervous about. Let's see how it goes. Moment of truth. Okay, so I brought it in to dry overnight, and it's looking good, except there's a little bit of texture on here. I think some moisture got into the compressor that was spraying out the gun. So I think I can reduce that a bit by, sanding it down and polishing it back up so it's shiny. And let's do it. Here goes. 1, 2, by hand is taking way too long, so I'm gonna fashion some type of oscillating device that can do this quicker. I don't want to buy a buffer, but I do have a drill, so that should work. Let's try it. Let's do this, this, all together. Voila! Ghetto buffer. So we sanded it down, we primed it white, we got the design on there, we put a clear coat on it, we let it dry, we sanded down the clear coat and then polished it back up to being shiny and smooth. And after all this work, all that's left is the big reveal. So let's see how it came out. It's working, guys.
Woohoo! Yeah, boy. Board's working. Board's working.
And here it is, the board. As you can see, I already took it out on the hill and I've used it. I can say that it works properly and it feels great. It got a couple dings and scrapes a little bit, but nothing that wouldn't happen to any regular board. But that's okay. I wanted it to be used. I wasn't planning to just hang it on the wall. I wanted it to be a functional piece of sports equipment. So if any of you were curious, I was wondering if I could paint the bottom of it, but apparently that's not a good idea as it will affect the performance of how it slides along the hill. So I didn't want to mess with that. So I got it waxed, I got it sharpened, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I hope you guys liked this video, and let me know if you have any questions for me. And if you like videos like this, stay tuned for more. I think my last video was about how to draw a rose, so you can click here if you are interested in that. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. Hey Pixel, what do you think of my new snowboard?